Good morning, everyone. It's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your reading for Tuesday, the 17th of December. Firstly, a big thank you to you all for supporting my channel. I continue to grow and it's such an amazing journey. I'm loving doing all your personal readings and having all your feedback. So please continue to do so. It's just amazing. I'm going to do a live on Facebook. We've got the Hanged Man coming out here this Sunday at 9 AM Australian time, strictly only an hour. I know I won't get to everyone again, and I know people get grumpy about that, but at the end of the day I can only do what I can do, because as much as I'm spiritual, I'm still only human. Okay, and then the other reminder, of course, is about Moonstruck TV, which goes to air 6:30 AM Australia, well, New South Wales time. Alrighty, I am using the Tarot Mucha for this reading. Let's see what's happening in the world. Okay, so we have that on my, I was cold this morning, put a big thick dressing gown on, and now I'm hot. Can't win, can I? Okay, so we have the 5 coming out, which of course is the Hierophant here. The High Priest. This is a card that signifies tradition. Doing things in a very traditional way. It can be about stability, but it can also be about governments, structures, the church, all of those sort of things. Very often denotes something more stable in a relationship or stable in your life. And with the Strength card behind that, 2 major arcanas, we are looking at bringing more strength into our lives here. So a lot of you may be working on your shadow sides with this card. It's sort of a time for epiphanies. We've all been doing it, those little wake-up moments that you have when you realise that something that you've always believed or something you've always done a certain way is no longer how it is. And many of us doing those things at the moment. I read it all the time. I speak to people and you're realising your truth here. So this is about having more clarity, understanding your direction, understanding your purpose, but moving in right. This is really nice reading, actually. Letting down the boundaries, the things that restricted you, removing those blocks and barriers to things, because you're finally seeing your way forward, and that's about to end out a cycle for you. So it looks as though many people are already in this cycle that was finishing out, if not already finished out. It may be a slower process for some than what it is for others, but definitely starting to understand our personal strengths, being able to bring in more stability, seeing things with more clarity and purpose moving forward, forging ahead in a very different way now, understanding that we're bringing new starts in, and we're letting down those things, perhaps those boundaries or barriers that have kept us back. But we've also understanding the boundaries here that keep us safe. So you're sort of doing that twofold. The boundaries we put in place so people understand what our personal limits are, but also not having our personal limits set too low that we can't excel and grow the way we should. So there's definitely big changes coming in for everyone at a personal level here. Beautiful. Look, another major arcana. So we have the Magician coming in here. So the Magician is a card that talks about manifestation. It talks about being able to produce, bring in, make things materialize in a way that's good for you. And I guess that with that intro, this is how excuse me, this is how we manifest. We manifest by being able to stand in our truth, having that stability, having worked off some of that shadow stuff that perhaps has held us back. The shadow side for some of you may be quite deeply hidden. I talked to somebody about this the other day. Sometimes it may be just present in the way you do things, but you may not actually realise it's holding you back. Maybe the way you think about things. Like something that occurred to me the other day was when I was young, my parents would eat chocolate in front of us. And when I'd ask for some, it's probably why I have a weight problem too. When I asked for chocolate, I used to get told people who ask don't get. And I used to think that's really strange, because if I don't ask, who knows I want any? But I never really got it at that time. I just got this idea of, okay, if I don't ask for something, I will get it. because that's what I was told. But of course, I realised the other day how untrue that is. So I've probably stood back for all my years thinking I can't want anything, because if I want, then I don't get. So very interesting. So a big epiphany for me, and I'm sure for many of you it may be that sort of thing. Okay, so we have the card of the Chariot coming in. So we've had a lot of major arcanas here this morning. So definitely things are moving in the universe. The Chariot is a card that represents Cancer. So you could be dealing with a Cancer here. But it's also the card of moving forward after a period of stagnancy. So it could be that you've been stuck because you've been working on this shadow, working on yourself, all of those sort of things. But now there's forward movement, which is always good. Oh, and then we have rebirth. Look at this, guys. So I think we had 5 major arcanas in the spread this morning, because we had 2 here plus an ace. Wow. Okay, so we have the card of rebirth. So you could be getting second chances here. Definitely something coming up here, something moving, movement, change, eruption, rebirth, coming up, coming forward. And then we have the Queen of Swords. So being this Queen of Swords has come up like this, it could mean you're Aquarius, Libra or Gemini. But I'm more feeling here that this is you wielding that sword. You have got it down at the moment, but it's like you've realised you've got that in your hand now. It's like this realisation of your own personal strength. Something is really changing here. Okay, so then we have the Hanged Man, which of course is another major arcana, but also flipped out at me while I was dealing. So this is looking at things in a very different way. And obviously with your shadow side and that work you're doing, you're starting to look at things very differently now. You're more conscious, you're observing, you're really taking in the world around you and really understanding. That's the sword, the Ace of Swords. That's about seeing things for what they truly are, being able to understand that life is different to perhaps what you've seen it to be before. This is what the Hanged Man's about. It's about enlightenment. Okay, oh my goodness. And then we have Temperance. If I hadn't have shuffled the bum off the cards, I would have been really blown out by this. I'm really blown out by this. So we have Balance. We have this beautiful card of Balance. And it's a bit the same with the Hierophant. It's sort of this whole idea of, you know, living by tradition, living by things being a certain way, living in your habits, and understanding that perhaps those things don't serve you anymore. So being able to rebirth from that, so coming out of that and understanding life isn't all about that much structure. We do have here the Five of Cups. Now the Five of Cups talks of looking back at the past with sadness, but I feel like in this spread that should be upside down. I feel that you're walking away from this now. You're walking away from the past, you're walking away from your sadness, you're letting things go. You're cutting them out now, you're moving forward. Oh, and then we have the Sun. What can I say? Another major arcana. What a blast. So you have more joy and happiness, enlightenment coming in, things changing. Page of Cups coming out here. Some of you could be dealing with water signs here, so there may be some connection with water sign. I have Cancer and Pisces here represented, but there's also with the major arcanas, each one of them represents a sign. So there could be anybody, but you're dealing with somebody here who's emotional. This could be your energy as well. It could be that you're feeling the emotions going through this process. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles at the end. I don't need to say any more about this. It's absolutely beautiful. This is personal. It's about how you're seeing your world, how you're moving forward. Okay, so we have definitely some sort of... Now, with the Hierophant, we can say that there may be a sort of moving away from traditional things here, understanding your shadow, so perhaps taking stuff out of your life that no longer serves you, but being able to see things for what they truly are. The Ace of Swords tells me that you're on a new path now. It's about closing out a cycle. It's about understanding your boundaries, the good ones and the bad ones. So the good boundaries are the ones that you put in place to protect yourself. The bad ones are the ones that you have in place that stop you doing what you want to do. Ten of Swords coming out, end of negative thinking, moving forward, end of sadness. And we can see that with the Sun card coming in here. So this is sort of moving forward. You're able to manifest now. You're rebuilding. You're rebuilding your life. You're rebuilding your ideas, and you're moving into a very different time here. You're taking on this energy of understanding, sort of being able to look at things in a very different way, but understanding your purpose, understanding direction, having this beautiful balance now where you can understand this is also about divine timing. And I know that things were starting to happen. We can all feel them happening in the universe, but this is very personal to people, this idea of sort of being able to work with your emotions now, not sort of getting immersed in your emotions, being able to process things in a way that's healthy rather than unhealthy. And we can see that with the Five of Cups. You know, maybe we've sort of got stuck on things, stuck in the past, stuck on energies, stuck on sadness, all those sort of things. And this card wanted to come out. And it's a change in the wind, which is perfect. So a lot of major arcanas here this morning. So a big wake up for some people, big awakening. And certainly changes for people all around here. People starting to understand that they're here for a greater purpose other than listening to the world around them. They're starting to trust their intuition. So this is a sense that unseen change has been initiated. Preparation for a storm, awareness that your plans are not on firm ground, feeling a shift, uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. It's human nature to yearn for certainty and resist change, to want the world to remain consistent like a zebra's stripes. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one thing guaranteed is change. Now is a time of transformation as outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds and nourish the soil for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. Ooh, what a great reading. Thanks, guys.